behind the scenes at the Imperial War Museum, we have a vast collection of uniform items, of civilian clothing that not many people realise quite the extent to what we have. And so it was very difficult to choose, not just from that collection, but from across our artworks, our posters, our film, our photographs. All of these things can be seen in Fashion on the Ration. And it is a very difficult job whittling it down. It's taken some time.
And some incredible personal stories as well.
Absolutely. I think one of my favourite is looking at some of the letters that we have that have got these beautiful illustrations by a woman called Eileen Gurney, who was she was really keen on making her own clothes during the war, which is obviously so important. But she is at pains to let her husband know how she's getting on, converting all manner of fabrics into clothes for herself and for her children, and making clothing last. She takes great pride in it, and you can really see that comes through in her letter so strongly.
And what about there's a slight danger, isn't there, of perhaps glamorising wartime fashion? That must be quite a problem.
Yeah, I think the most important thing to remember throughout this entire exhibition, the point that we make, is that this is people living under an unprecedented government intervention in their lives, and living under the immense threat of danger. Now, even something like we look at, for example, the siren suit that we have here, which is this all-in-one zip-up garment that people might wear to dash out to the air raid shelter, that is worn because of the direct threat to their lives by aerial bombing. So at every point we are clear about the fact that this is people living at a time of total war, where every single resource is needed to be turned over to the war effort, or where people themselves have their lives in danger.
Why do you think that wartime, vintage, etc. has really caught on at the moment? What is it about now that makes it so relevant and interesting to people?
I think at the moment people really, there's a kind of move, if you like, towards people looking at the provenance of their clothing and looking at where the clothing comes from, and the idea of making clothing last as well. I think people are becoming more and more interested in that, and of course the 1940s is when that was a necessity. It wasn't a choice, and I think people see those parallels, if you like, or take inspiration from wartime clothing because of that. But also in terms of the style of it, I think it really endures because it's actually quite simple and quite minimalist, and all of the reasons that actually in the wartime were because of austerity and the paring down of limiting people to the number of buttons and pockets and pleats. In fact, that actually makes the clothing sleek and quite chic in a way that I think people in the Second World War might be quite surprised to the extent to which that kind of style maintains today.